Do you want to win? Do you want to be wealthy? Do you want to taste the kind of success that makes average men uncomfortable just to stand in your presence? Then I ask you a more important question. Have you disciplined your mind? For until you do, every desire you carry will remain a distant hope. Success, wealth, and achievement, all the things men chase, are not products of chance. They are consequences of thought, shaped and forged through mental discipline. You may have talent. You may have drive. But unless you have mastered the battlefield between your ears, the riches you seek will forever be delayed. It is not the man with the most resources who wins. It is the man who has trained himself to focus, to choose, to persist in spite of everything that stands against him. The world rewards the man who can direct his thoughts. It follows the man who refuses to surrender to distractions. It honors the man who does not negotiate with his feelings but moves forward by principle. Discipline of mind is the root of all greatness, and without it everything else falls apart. I tell you plainly, success does not begin with luck or timing or talent. It begins with clarity of thought. Before a single brick is laid, the blueprint must be exact. Before the harvest is reaped, the seed must be chosen carefully. And before your success can materialize in the physical world, it must be formed in thought, guarded by attention, and driven by focused repetition. Your mind is the headquarters of your results. If you fail to organize it, your future will remain chaotic. If you do not discipline it, your actions will remain scattered. If you allow every distraction to enter, every emotion to govern, every fear to settle, you will build nothing. You may try, you may talk, you may dream, but without discipline, you will never execute consistently. A disciplined mind is not distracted. It is not ruled by the news, by opinion, or by the mood of the hour. It is ruled by decision, and decision is the foundation of wealth. Ask yourself now, do your thoughts serve your purpose or sabotage it? When you wake, do you immediately move in the direction of your goals, or do you surrender to ease, delay, and disorganization? Most men lose the battle not because they lack opportunity, but because they lack structure. They allow their minds to roam wild, and so their results do too. But when a man brings his thoughts under control, when he begins his day with intention, speaks with clarity, acts without apology, he becomes dangerous. Not to others, but to his limitations. Let me give you the truth, whether you're ready or not. Wealth begins the moment you stop reacting and start designing. The moment you stop chasing and start commanding. And that command must begin within. It must begin with a mind that is loyal not to emotion, but to excellence. Discipline does not mean perfection. It means consistency. It means choosing to return to the goal even when you're tired, even when it's hard, even when no one is watching. Discipline is not a loud force. It is quiet. It is constant. It is the voice that says, get up, when your body says, stay down. It is the whisper that says, focus, when your world screams distraction. Every morning you must begin with this. What am I thinking? Not just what am I doing, not what do I feel, but what am I thinking? Because what you think will become what you feel. What you feel will become what you do, and what you do will become your destiny. Your thoughts are the cause. Everything else is the effect. You cannot create success while entertaining thoughts of laziness. You cannot attract money while constantly thinking of lack. You cannot become disciplined while tolerating the chaos in your mental environment. If you desire to achieve something few have ever achieved, you must think in ways few ever dare to think. Most men think about what they fear. The disciplined man thinks about what he builds. Most men repeat their failures in thought. The disciplined man rehearses his vision. Most men crave comfort. The disciplined man craves order because he knows something the world has forgotten. Every great life begins with great thinking, and great thinking is a choice. It is a decision you must enforce daily. You must direct your thoughts. You must filter your thoughts. You must test your thoughts. And you must ask, does this thought move me closer to wealth or away from it? Does this belief strengthen me or weaken me? Does this feeling deserve to influence my next move? If the answer is no, it must go. That is the rule of discipline. The man who disciplines his mind walks through the day with clarity. He does not waste energy on guessing. He does not drown in overthinking. He decides because he has decided in advance what he values, what he pursues, and what he is no longer available for. And what is he no longer available for? Excuses, delay, self-pity, wasted time, because he understands. Time is wealth and discipline protects it. He no longer entertains people, places, or patterns that cost him more than they return. He is loyal to one thing only, the vision. That vision must be repeated until it is memorized. When your mind knows the vision, it can filter the day. When your mind is full of purpose, it will not absorb poison. When your mind is trained, you will no longer be trapped. This is why I say to you every morning, feed your mind before the world does. Speak what you seek. Declare what you demand. Establish your mental territory before external forces trespass on it. Say, I am focused. I am wealthy in thought. I do not drift. I am not a victim. I am building. I am mastering myself. My thoughts are disciplined, and so my results are consistent. These are not affirmations for the sake of ego. These are instructions. You are instructing your mind how to behave. You are setting the standard. And what you repeat becomes your rhythm. And when your rhythm is aligned, success becomes simple. Not easy, but simple. Because every action has been predetermined by your thinking. Your day is no longer accidental, it is architected. Let's talk about feelings. Because they will try to deceive you. Your feelings will tell you to slow down. Your feelings will tell you you're not ready. Your feelings will tell you it's too late, too hard, too soon. But your feelings are not facts. Your discipline is. And discipline says, I show up anyway. I finish what I start. I think thoughts that build. I focus when I don't feel like it. I build even when no one sees it. I win because I do not negotiate with my weakness. That kind of discipline transforms a man, not externally, but internally first. And then what happens? Money begins to follow that man. People begin to trust that man. Opportunities begin to appear for that man. Not because he got lucky, but because he got clear. Clear in mind, clear in mission, clear in thought. That clarity is expensive. It costs time. It costs distraction. It costs old habits. But it pays in results. It pays in income. It pays in confidence. It pays in legacy. And it pays forever. Because the man who disciplines his mind will never again be a slave to circumstance. He will rise no matter what the world throws at him. Because his mind, his thoughts, his focus is already built to win. So I ask you again, do you want to win? Do you want to build wealth? Do you want to master success? Then begin not with action. Begin with attention. Discipline your mind. And everything else will follow. Success is not a mystery to the man who has trained himself to think in alignment with his vision. It is not a riddle to be solved, nor is it a prize awarded at random. Success is the natural consequence of a disciplined inner world. Show me a man with strong habits, and I will show you a man with strong thoughts. Show me a man with powerful influence, and I will show you a man who has first mastered the private conversations he has with himself. Wealth is not acquired through motion alone. You can work from dawn until dusk, but if your thinking is conflicted, unclear, or emotional, your labor will produce little fruit. You do not just need effort. You need directional effort. Effort that stems from a clear, disciplined mental environment. Energy without direction is a storm. But energy guided by structure is a force of creation. So how do you build this inner discipline? You begin by taking full responsibility for every thought you allow to live inside your head. No more blaming your upbringing. No more excusing your environment. No more pointing to external chaos. The disciplined man understands that while he may not control the events of the world, he has absolute control over the thoughts he entertains, the focus he sustains, and the identity he reinforces. Success requires that level of ownership. It demands that you be ruthless with your mental inputs. The mind is a garden, neglect it, and the weeds will grow automatically. Fear, self-doubt, distraction, these are the natural overgrowths of an untended mind. But when you discipline your mind, when you guard it, when you feed it, when you train it daily, you begin to grow thoughts of strength, certainty, and resilience. This garden of thought becomes your internal empire, and from it all outward achievement is born. Let's talk about money. Money does not chase noise. It flows to order, to structure, to clarity. A scattered mind cannot manage wealth, let alone attract it. That is why so many people who come into sudden fortune lose it. They had not yet developed the internal mental architecture to sustain prosperity. They tried to elevate their lifestyle without elevating their thinking. But true wealth is not about what you possess. It is about what you can command through thought. Your mind must become a financial instrument, not a wish factory, not a chaos engine, a deliberate, structured, wealth-producing machine. This begins with simple, powerful practices. You set your intentions daily. You define your targets weekly. You review your decisions hourly. And most importantly, you eliminate any thought that does not support your ultimate goal. That last part is critical. You eliminate weak thoughts, not entertain them. You replace hesitation, not debate with it. You dismiss fear, not negotiate with it. The disciplined mind does not argue with low-energy thoughts. It simply denies them access. It recognizes that every thought has a price. And if a thought costs clarity, it is too expensive. If it costs peace, it must go. If it delays action, it is an enemy of progress. The man who masters this principle becomes unshakable, not because life is easy, but because his mind is no longer dictated by it. Understand this. Your outer world is not built by external forces. It is built by your dominant inner conditions. This is not speculation. It is law. If you are experiencing confusion, you must organize your thinking. If you are in constant stress, you must trace the mental loop that's feeding it. If you are surrounded by noise, you must silence the internal chatter that attracts it. You see, discipline is not something you do. It is something you become. It is not a part-time performance. It is a lifestyle, a philosophy, a system of operation that governs everything. How you speak, how you respond, how you think, and how you act when no one is watching. Let me ask you, what do your thoughts sound like when you're alone? That is the real indicator of discipline, because it's easy to appear focused when others are around. But what happens when it's just you and your thoughts? Do you still lead yourself? Do you still keep your promises? Do you still hold the line even when the applause is gone? That, my friend, is discipline. And that is what separates those who finish strong from those who fade out. Mental discipline makes you dangerous, not to others, but to everything that once limited you. Once your mind is aligned, nothing external can slow you down for long. Distractions come, but you cut them. Resistance rises, but you move anyway. Emotions shift, but your standard does not. This inner standard is the secret weapon of every high achiever. It's not seen. It's not shouted, but it is felt in every choice they make, in every word they speak, in every action they take. That standard does not lower to meet the world. The world rises to meet it. Discipline must become your identity. You must begin to see yourself not as someone who is trying to become disciplined, but as someone who is disciplined. You must speak it, write it, and behave like it. Say it aloud right now. I am a disciplined man. I do not tolerate delay. I move with precision. I act with purpose. I build from structure. My mind is my weapon. My habits are my proof. This is more than affirmation. It is installation. You are reprogramming your internal software to reflect the future you've already chosen. Because make no mistake, you are always choosing. You are either choosing to think like the man who wins or choosing to recycle the thoughts of the man who loses. You are either reinforcing the future or repeating the past. You are either training your mind or allowing it to wander. There is no neutral ground in the arena of success. You are either building or breaking. But here's the beauty. Discipline gives you control, not just over your outcomes, but over how you experience life itself. With discipline, stress becomes fuel. With discipline, doubt becomes data. With discipline, failure becomes feedback. Nothing is wasted because everything is processed through a trained mind. A mind that knows its mission. A mind that lives by code. A mind that is so focused, so aligned that even setbacks serve the strategy. You must now adopt that mentality. You must stop looking for balance and start building structure. You must stop asking, how do I feel today? And start asking, what does the mission require of me today? You must stop tolerating mental habits that don't serve your higher self. This includes negative self-talk, endless comparison, emotional reactivity, mental procrastination. All of these are weeds in the garden, and a single weed left unchecked will multiply. So you must weed your mind daily. You must train it hourly. You must protect it relentlessly. That is your job, not just as a creator of success, but as the guardian of your own future. Because without discipline, your ideas will stay ideas. Your goals will remain dreams. Your efforts will burn out in frustration. But with discipline, everything becomes possible. Because you're no longer waiting. You're executing. You're no longer reacting. You're creating. You're no longer debating. You're deciding. That mental shift changes everything. You will begin to notice it in how you speak, in how you walk, in how you carry yourself in every room. People will feel it before they see it. You will no longer need to explain your goals. Your presence will make them believable. That presence is earned. It is built in the hidden hours, in the lonely moments when no one is watching. When you silence the noise, structure the plan, and do the work anyway. And eventually the world will catch up. It always does. The man who disciplines his mind cannot be ignored forever, because his results will demand attention. His consistency will command respect, and his life will become a living example, not of luck, but of mental structure properly applied. Discipline your mind, and everything else will follow. The man who disciplines his mind does not just get ahead, he becomes unstoppable. He is no longer tossed by the emotional waves of the day. He does not run from responsibility. He does not retreat from pressure. Instead, he moves forward with a quiet confidence that can only come from mastery of self. His wealth may be counted in dollars, but its roots are deeper. It is built in decision, in self-governance, in a mind trained to win. Understand this clearly. A disciplined mind is a wealthy mind. And wealth in its truest form is not just financial, it is freedom. The freedom to choose your responses, to direct your energy, to align your behavior with your mission no matter the environment. It is the freedom from reactivity, from weakness, from the old habits that once controlled you. That freedom is only available to the man who has conquered himself. Do not envy the man with a big paycheck. Envy the man with discipline, for he can build anything, rebuild from anything, and create wealth wherever he goes, because he carries his most powerful asset within him, a trained, focused, resilient mind. Let me remind you of something eternal. Riches gained without mental discipline are riches that will vanish. But riches born of a disciplined mind will not only stay, they will multiply. Because money is not the goal, it is the effect. The disciplined mind never seeks money as the aim. It seeks value, clarity, and contribution. And as a result, money follows him like a shadow. He becomes the cause, money becomes the effect. Now let me turn your attention inward once more. I ask you, what thoughts are you tolerating that contradict your vision? What beliefs have you accepted that are unworthy of your destiny? What habits have you allowed to live simply because you haven't decided they must die? You will not win by accident. You will win because your thoughts leave no room for losing. You will win because you have trained your mind not to entertain weakness, not for a moment, not for a second, not under pressure. When fear knocks, the disciplined man says, "You are not welcome here." When delay whispers, "There's still time," he replies, "I move now." When comfort seduces him to rest too long, he stands up and says, "Not yet, I've got work to do." He speaks to himself, not as a victim, not as a follower, but as a leader of his own mind. And that leadership radiates into every part of life. In business, it makes him bold. In decision-making, it makes him fast. In adversity, it makes him calm. In leadership, it makes him trustworthy. Because he is not ruled by emotion, he is ruled by principle. That principle is built every day through repetition. If you are not training your mind daily, you are falling behind daily. Let me give you a formula, a simple practice, but one that builds internal wealth faster than any shortcut or gimmick. Every morning, rehearse your identity. Say aloud, "This is who I am. I am disciplined. I am driven. I act on command. I do not delay. I do not complain. I build. I create. I finish." Speak it, then act on it, not tomorrow, today. Every afternoon, review your behavior. Ask yourself, did I honor the man I declared this morning? Where did I drift? What must be tightened? Discipline is not about perfection. It is about correction. Small adjustments made daily create great men. Every night, give yourself clarity. Before you sleep, speak one thought into your subconscious. Tomorrow I rise stronger. I know what must be done. I do not hesitate. I move with power. Why? Because your subconscious does not sleep when you do. It works while you rest. It files instructions, reinforces identity, and prepares you for the man you must wake up to become. Most men let the world train their subconscious through television, gossip, or fear. You will train yours through deliberate instruction. That is how you build discipline. You build it like a craftsman, brick by brick, word by word, thought by thought. It will not be loud. It will not be easy, but it will be worth it. Because while the undisciplined man struggles to maintain consistency, you will walk in rhythm. While others feel lost in noise, you will move with clarity. While they are pulled by distraction, you will be locked on your mission. And slowly, silently, you will build the life others only talk about. You will become the man they watch but cannot understand. They will say, "He's lucky." No, you're not lucky. You are trained. You are trained to ignore delay, Train to override weakness. Train to show up regardless of how you feel, and that training will make you a magnet for every goal you once had to chase. This is the life of the disciplined man. Not flashy, but focused. Not chaotic, but clear. Not hurried, but decisive, because he knows exactly who he is. Not because the world told him, but because he told himself again and again until it became his nature. Now, you must decide if that man is you. And if he's not yet, build him. Begin now. Do not wait for a better environment. The man of discipline creates one. Do not wait for better motivation. The man of discipline acts on decision, not mood. Do not wait for a better plan. The man of discipline executes, refines, and improves as he moves. There will never be a moment more powerful than this one. Use it. Right now, decide what thought does not belong. Eliminate it. Decide what belief is holding you back. Rewrite it. Decide what action you've delayed. Move on it. Discipline is not about delay, it is about doing. And the more you do, the more you believe. The more you believe, the more you attract. The more you attract, the more you become. This is how success becomes inevitable. You align your thoughts with your vision. You align your speech with your identity. You align your actions with your highest standard. And everything else, money, influence, opportunity, legacy, it all follows. Not because you begged for it, but because you became the man who owns it. So I say to you one final time, you do not need more time. You do not need more information. You do not need more applause. You need one thing, discipline of mind. Discipline it, and all else will follow. Because when the man is in order, the money comes, the influence grows, the reputation builds, the peace deepens, and the future opens. That is the power of a trained, focused, unstoppable mind. That is the beginning and the end of all success. Discipline your mind. Everything else will follow.